everyone, welcome to Millennium Live. My name is Katie Perry, and today I am joined with Chris Catallo, who is the Chief Business Development Officer at Healthgrades. Thank you so much for being here today, Chris.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Can you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and Healthgrades?
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, I'm Chris Catallo. I've been with Healthgrades for nearly 8 years now, and we really believe that we wouldn't have a mission without our health systems mission. So each and every day, we try to connect consumers with the right care providers, and it's been a great run.
What do you think makes Healthgrades so unique?
I believe that again, we really focus on the mission of healthcare and finding the care path for a consumer that connects that consumer with the correct provider. So our ability to utilize data analytics, predictive models, those type of things, just has been wonderful with my experience here, and also the growth of healthgrades.com and what we've been doing with healthgrades.com and the consumers and the way they utilize that site not only for ratings and reviews but just information, and then their ability to appoint and connect with those care providers has been really great.
Now, I'm sure you have a lot of insight into the industry. So, what trends are you seeing that are changing in the way hospitals and both health systems interact with their consumers?
Well, so for us, we've really looked at connectivity, and then of course with COVID, things had changed. So this pandemic hit us in March. The world changed, and immediately healthcare had to adapt. So for us, we have a platform. We've always taken a platform approach, and with that platform, we have the ability to connect consumers at many touch points along their journey. So you'll hear terms like CRM for customer relationship management, or PRM for provider relationship management. And what we've been able to do is take one single data layer and connect with the consumer at their point of care needs. So when a consumer is, for instance, searching digitally on a web, we have the ability to help drive them to the right care provider. We also have the ability to allow medical staff and clinical staff to look at patterns. It might be referral patterns, it might be leakage, those type of things. And then we also stay connected with that consumer post encounter. And with all of that, we believe we have a 360 view, and that's been wonderful. But really, to your question of kind of what's changing, there's no doubt with what's happening now with telemed and televisits and those type of things that with the pandemic, I would hate to ever say it was a blessing, because it's not by any means, but some good things can come out of it. And coming out of it are fast tracking things like telemedicine and our ability to utilize telemedicine not only in what we do at Health Grades with consumers, whether it's CRM initiatives or our engagement center initiatives, but also on healthgrades.com, the ability to just allow consumers to appoint and utilize those type of technologies. And I've seen all over the country that health systems have been able to fast track e-visits, telemedicine, and it's been wonderful. It's just great that out of something so terrible, something good can come out of it.
Absolutely. And like you said, you don't want to say that something good has come out of it, out of something so tragic, but it's true that many things have come out of it and we are changing and expanding. So
That's
I
right.
know that Health Grades does talk a lot about intelligent engagement. So can you tell us a little bit more about that, but also why is it important?
Absolutely. Yeah. So when we talk about intelligent engagement, it's really about our ability to be precise. Now, our ability to be precise could just be words if I say it like that. But the truth of the matter is, we utilize a series of predictive models that have been built over the past 30 years. We have the ability to allow those predictive models to learn, and they learn from data. So you hear a lot you hear a lot nowadays about machine learning, and machine learning and how that is impacting technology or impacting a consumer's choices. But uh, with predictive models, our models have been learning for 30 years. So we were doing things like artificial intelligence, machine learning for many, many years before that was kind of a cool term, So it's really important, because what we believe is that when a consumer um, can be hyper targeted, it's not just to try to pick up a consumer for business, it's try to help that consumer lead to the right care provider. And with predictive models, that's what we're able to do. So when we say things like intelligent engagement, what we mean by that is we're helping the consumer become engaged with intelligent choices by utilizing these predictive models to find the right care path for them.
Speaking on that, how do you think hospitals and health systems can better leverage data and insights to accelerate intelligent engagement?
It's so there's just been so much disparate data for so many years and so much stuff that's coming at these health systems and care providers. And I think to your question, that there has to be a way that health systems can really align, understand what is important to them. You're not going to be able to take every single piece of data out there because health systems, inherently have collected so much data over the years that you find these disparate areas of data sitting in data warehouses or maybe in a CRM tool or even web tracking tools, these type of things. So I always advise that, start simple. Let's just start simple. Let's start looking at certain data paths. Make decisions. Are you looking at consumer data, patient data, payer data, provider data, and start really segmenting those data pathways. Eventually, I mean, we've seen some really good stuff now with the use of models, with the use of data warehouses, where they are bringing it all together. So I just think a simple plan, not try to, the old term of boil the ocean, but not try to start too large, and just start in these areas. Then health systems can do great stuff by utilizing data to help make informed decisions.
Absolutely. So, what kind of role does technology play in this shift?
Oh, it's the role, the main role. I mean, that's the ability to parse data now and look really beyond just EMR. So, we saw with some of the specific acts that have taken place over the years, whether it was meaningful use when we put EMRs in place and we watched that grow. And then just recently, well, not so recently, but just what happened with healthcare reform. Then now recently, the CARES Act and those kind of things that technology, the focus on interoperability, the shift from EMR just being a technology, but more of a pathway to learnings. And then the integration of tools like CRM. CRM, the term CRM, I think is probably overused, and we're just as guilty at Healthgrades of it. But the ability to view data and use technology to go beyond the EMR and really understand what I was saying at the beginning, that one data layer, a single data layer that looks at the consumer data, the provider data, post-encounter data, utilizing call centers and contact centers, or engagement center tracking. Those type of things are going to be really important for the future. The old saying of just, the frictionless front door for the consumer, what we really need to do, and it's probably overused, but I think healthcare has done a pretty darn good job of studying other industries. We get a bad rap for that, but other industries have looked at the consumer front door or the digital front door and made it easier. And we're doing a pretty darn good job of that right now. I just think we have to continue to evolve that.
Right, of course, and evolving takes time.
That's
So,
right.
so do you have any advice for any healthcare leaders that are looking to undertake this transformation at their health systems and what you would say to them?
Yeah, and I do say it often. I say, you don't do it in a silo. Don't try to do it in a silo. Get an executive buy-in. No idea is a bad idea. Bring it to the table with an executive leadership team, and go forward with a plan that you can phase out, because you're not going to solve some of these technology problems, interoperability issues, data issues. You're not going to solve those overnight. So, I look at things like the executive buy-in, a segmented plan that can be phased out, a team approach where you're meeting on a regular basis, and really just milestones where you're able to feel some wins and successes along the way.
I just have one final question for you, and it has to do with our virtual assemblies. I know you've attended a few so far, but what do you think makes Millennium Alliance so great for today's leaders?
I'll give you my own personal experience. So the team at Healthgrades asked me to take place. I looked at it candidly and I said, well, there's a lot of these organizations out there. Are we sure Millennium Alliance is the right one? And I wouldn't say reluctantly, but I had to find the time to make the meetings and work with you all on it. And it was fantastic. And the reason it was fantastic is your executives that join the meetings that I was able to take part in, but also I've looked around my organization and talked to many that have been part of it. Um, the executives that you bring to the table are really engaged. And when they come to the table, they want to talk about what Healthgrades is doing. I had a conversation just 2 weeks ago with a follow up from Millennium about our new Mercury platform and what we're doing with this Mercury platform is what I was saying, one data layer to the ability to connect. And they followed up and they're calling it by name, and then they're talking about our services that we call Fusion. And I told the team at Healthgrades, like, this is super impactful. What Millennium's doing is really great. I mean, you all are doing great work, so thank you for what you do. But really, the executive level engagement and then the follow up and those executives coming to the table, truly talking about solving problems for healthcare is fantastic.
Great. Well, I'm so happy that you've had a wonderful experience, and we hope the same for the future. And it was wonderful talking to you. And I hope that we can see you again virtually, but hopefully in person within the next year or so. So
Mhm.
thank you for being here today, Chris, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you so much.